everybody. It's your girl Yuva,
It's your girl Robin.
and welcome to 4T.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Okay, I got a little lag going on here, but hey, we'll be. Um, so today's topic is if you could get back in a time machine and go back and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you say? Oh boy, that is something for the record, and we're gonna get into it right after this. Okay, maybe not. I don't hear music. I don't hear the music. All right. Anyway, our intro. I don't even hear that.
Okay, here we
All
are.
right.
Music was jamming. Uh-oh, I think we lost our Yuba. She can't. Uh-uh. We can't hear you. We can hear something. Sound like you're underwater. Just 1 minute, folks. Hope you guys had a good Wednesday hump day so far. Uh-oh. Okay. Wait for our Yuva to come back in. Um, Having some technical difficulties, but we'll be up. Waiting for her to come back in. But today we're talking about what would you tell your 18-year-old self if you had a chance? And I know all you 40-year-olds are with me like a whole lot that I didn't do. We don't give Yuva a minute to come back in here. See what's going on. Y'all bear with us.
Okay. So yeah.
Now we can hear you.
Okay. Sorry,
Uh-oh.
guys. My computer just loves to show off. I don't understand, but it's all good. My Wi-Fi. Anyway, that's what happens when you live in the country. Things just don't work right.
They had you so we can hear you, but it's like they had you underwater. Like whoop, whoop, whoop,
Oh,
whoop.
drown me. I'm in a lifeboat. All
But we
right.
can give you an intro again.
I don't know. The intro is messing me up. So let's not do the intro because every time I put the intro on.
Oh no. We heard you going like this.
Oh,
We missed all that. We missed all that goodness.
oh, okay. Anyway, oh my gosh. Anyway, it's Wednesday, y'all. Hump day. So, okay. So let's try this again. It's your girl, you.
It's your girl Robin.
One of these days, this technical difficulty stuff is gonna be beneath me. But anyway, so yeah, if you can go back in the time machine, if I can go back in the time machine at the beginning of this podcast, but if I could go back, what would you tell your 18-year-old self? Woo! I have so much, but hmm, the one we keep hearing, what we get a lot of is refunds.
Refunds?
Yeah, refunds. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Coochie refunds, ding-a-ling refunds, things that you wish you could get back because that's what your most protected commodity is. And unfortunately, when you give it, you can't take it back.
Yeah, we give it away sometimes. Giving away.
Undeservingly. Hey, we want y'all to in the audience to go ahead and anybody logging in from Facebook. Hello, anybody on YouTube. Hello, it's Wednesday, y'all. We want to hear what y'all have to say about that because yeah, I'm sure. I am sure. I am so sure that people have at least one at least one refund. We should be so lucky.
And it could be your energy, your time.
Guys,
you know.
can you get refunds on that? Like, I just want it
No.
back. Just get it back. Yeah, really invest. What? Okay, so some of the things I would tell my 18-year-old self, and this is unrelated to that. You definitely protect your energy. No,
Yeah.
but seriously though, and that goes into anything. Like you said, when your parents tell you to save it for marriage,
Mm-hmm.
that they don't really get into detail because I think it make them uncomfortable to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could tell my 18-year-old self that, um, or even go back a little further than 18, a little younger than 18, I would just be like, okay, this is why, and then break it down. And it's not because you want to be holier than thou, but it's like, does the person who is not willing to marry you and make a commitment to you really deserve it?
Right.
Right. And then you're getting bodies, what they call getting bodies, and it's not
The
for
body count.
body count, and it's for what? What? You don't even remember these people. Just be like, what happened? And yeah, it just takes your energy. It just takes from your energy. So I would definitely tell my 18 or slightly younger self, no, just wait. Just wait for somebody who's willing to invest the time and energy, reciprocate that energy back to you, other than
Yeah.
physically. So definitely wait on that. Yeah, because your parents try to tell you, your parents really do try to tell you to wait, but they're coming from a parental point. So what I tell my sons, and They're not
What
me.
do you tell your sons now? Because they're around this age,
I
the
tell
early
them the
age.
same thing. I because people tend to tell their daughters that, but they forget to tell their sons that. Protect
True.
your family jewels,
Yeah.
okay? Because that's your legacy. So you just spreading your seed around to the world, and do these women deserve it? Do they really deserve it?
No.
I mean, like, do you want this person to be connected to you for the rest of your life? No,
No.
and it's a lot of drama that comes along with the physical. I think
Hmm.
people are so enamored or caught up in the moment that they don't think about the lifetime. And it sounds cliche. Oh, I got worried. But you really do need to put more thought into it and control your instincts or peer pressure. Because I've known some people who just lost their virginity for dumb reasons, just because, or just because they didn't want to be the last virgin, just all kind of crazy stuff. It
Yeah,
just
they're like, I don't want to go into college being a virgin, or I don't want to do just
right,
different things. Yeah.
right. And I'm
I don't
and I'm
want to be the only one, so I just let him do it.
and I'm guessing men probably have the most peer pressure because they be like, "Oh man, you ain't getting none. You ain't getting
Yeah.
none. Are you? What's wrong with you, man? You know, nothing's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with you that you want to save it for somebody who deserve it. Not the
Hmm.
hood rat, not the ratchet girl. Save it. Save a little something.
But don't give it out to just one. Y'all might go a little crazy, and they might have y'all on leash or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I do. And see, it's a contradictory type of thing that I got going on here because I do think that you should, if you, if
Unless
you,
you're gonna get married. Unless you're gonna
right,
get married.
if you delve into that, just be prepared. Just be prepared. I would say if you don't wait, just be
Hmm.
prepared to deal with what all comes along with that. It's emotional. It's physical. I mean, there's so many. There's diseases. There's
Yeah.
unwanted
Babies.
pregnancy. Yeah. So
Little people.
and like I said, some people just simply don't deserve it. You be like, "Oh, me? Why?" Like, what am I thinking? I wasn't, but yeah, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. What else would I tell my 18? What would you tell what was one thing you tell your 18-year-old self?
Actually saved money while I was in my mama's house. When she told me to save money instead of spending all my money on movies and drinks and hanging out, I wish I had saved money, and I wish I had purchased a property in my 20s, even
Mm,
before a marriage. So I had something to fall back on.
okay. Yeah, that's
That's
a
what
good
I wish.
that's a good one.
Hmm.
What
Then
else? That's definitely true because
yeah.
saving money,
You'd be financially set up. You have rent, it'll be extra income after that. So
right?
if I was young, especially in our area, if you live in the DC area, or even if you live, a lot of
Mm,
people are buying properties in Baltimore right now because Baltimore is
yes.
going through the same
Oh
phase
my
that
gosh.
we went through.
Yes, I would definitely tell
So
my 18-year-old self to talk to your family. Be like, don't sell,
yeah.
don't sell grandma's property.
Hmm.
Don't do it because it's gonna be worth a lot of money real soon, and y'all go
Yeah.
and it's an investment. Don't do it. So if you own property or you have family that own property in DC and it's in the family and it's
Don't
being
sell it.
sent to you, don't sell it. Don't get so far behind it. You rent it out, fix it up, do what you gotta do. Do a GoFundMe to get some money to fix it up. That's worth a
Hmm.
GoFundMe.
Yeah.
So you do what you gotta do, but keep that property in the family.
Yeah.
What else would I tell my 18-year-old self? Mm. Oh my God. I
Hmm.
would just tell my 18-year-old self to stay in the government. I was honestly, people were like, what's wrong with you? I had people that I could talk to, but I didn't really have a mentor. Nobody really coming to me and saying, and I
Mhm.
had family that went us in the government. I had nobody come to me and be like, keep your government job and just do something else on the side. You know,
Um, and then that you could change government job. You didn't have to stay in the same one.
nobody told me none of that. It was a stay in school program. I was bored as hell. I was like, I want to do some real work. Ha!
Well,
Oh
you've been
man,
working.
why? Why? I could have been retiring right there.
Yeah.
I, But I was just so bored. I picked up bad habits, shopping and smoking cigarettes, working in the government. I was just like, because everybody was on smoke break, so I just thought that was a good idea. So don't smoke. That's another thing I tell my 18-year-old.
Don't smoke. I
That was
don't know. I think just start your exercise, start taking care of yourself. My mom always told me, and we did, like taking care of your face, and I guess it paid off in 41 now, so we good. But like taking care of your skin, get in the habit of exercising, and just start some good habits. But you just chilling in your 20s, you just trying to have fun. Your brain isn't there. Not even in your 30s, your early 30s. Just
you
doing.
just like because you just think that you're young and you're invincible, and it won't catch up to you.
Yeah.
But it does because eating. My dad, yeah, we were raised to eat healthy and
We were too.
we not really exercise, but we was outside a lot. So we rode bikes, we walked, we swam.
Yeah, I did more younger than I did
Yeah.
in the 20s and the 30s.
Yeah, we started getting too cute and getting cars and then drive-throughs and eating out, and so yeah, it caught up with you. It's gonna catch up with you. You be like, whoa, now I'm tired going up a flight of steps. What's going on? So definitely,
Your knees buckling.
right. It's autumn.
Yeah, baby, take care of your body because you're gonna feel it later. It seems like as soon as you hit 40, stuff start buckling and stuff. I was
Yeah,
bending down, it's like crack. I put
yeah,
my arms up like this, it says crack. It's doing that right now.
yeah.
Everything be cracking all
You
of a sudden. I'm
you
like,
go
what's
and do a
going
Megan Thee
on?
Stallion if you want to.
Yeah,
And you like, drop it low.
you lose your what did it say we talked about menopause andropause last week, and they said you lose your I guess your bone density, your muscle mass, all that stuff goes down even more significantly. So I wish I had kept it up, 'cause I feel like broke down. I mean, I don't feel like we look like we're in our 40s, but I definitely feel like I'm in my 40s. I wish I had taken care of that.
You feel it. You get a little stiffer. You're
Yeah, it's not. We can't let 80, 61-year-old grandma be showing us up on Instagram. Somebody was doing pull-ups and stuff. I'm like, dang. So it shows we can be strong. But I'm like, okay, did she just start that, or has she been doing this all her life?
right. In all fairness, I've never been able to do a pull up. Just
Yeah.
never. Even in my best condition, when I used to take karate and stuff, I never. I don't know what my
I
upper
can't do it
body
either.
strength is terrible.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
But that's
So.
my goal. I'm practicing. I'm gonna get that done. So I tell my 18-year-old self, do a pull up. Get sleep because you're never gonna get it again. We used to stay up late for no reason.
That's true.
Just be up and just
good sleeping habits.
Yeah, go to sleep. Drink more water. Gosh, these are things that people don't think are important.
Yeah.
We didn't drink a lot of sodas and stuff growing up until we got older and we were out, like hanging out with friends and stuff. That we would start picking up bad habits.
Yeah.
Soda and juice and all that stuff. So you don't need that stuff, y'all. And
No.
weight, you can drink your calories, and it's just not healthy. It makes me cringe, literally, when I see people give their children sodas and juice, just put it in their bottles. It really makes me cringe. And I don't mean to be, it's not for a judgmental thing, but because I know all of the problems that go along with the problems that soda.
Yeah, high fructose corn syrup is not your friend. That's one thing I told myself. Do not drink that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's one thing I always take care of my teeth. I could thank my late grandfather. Always, he had his original teeth when he passed away.
Really?
He brushed his teeth like 3 times a day with this Colgate tooth powder, and he always would. He wouldn't chew gum. He just protected his teeth. I got a problem chewing ice, but that's enough. He would take and make sure you don't go to bed walking around. And I'm like that now. I get on my sons for walking around barefoot and then go lay in the bed. You all the germs.
Oh, really?
I'm like, wipe your feet off. Why
do you germs in your bed?
Yeah.
Okay, you always have something on my feet.
I have on slippers at all times or socks.
People do that.
They will. Yeah. Our grandfather would have you wiping your feed off with alcohol before you let and I'm thankful for that. So that stuff is still in me. I think I'm OCD because of that. But
Mm-hmm.
um listening to your parents. Whew, parents have wisdom.
Some
Uh,
degree.
parents have wisdom
They do.
beyond because they've been here longer and
They've
they've
been
been
here already.
right.
They've
So
been
that
in it.
comes to the other one. Learn from other people's mistakes. I think I did good or some things learning from other people. I really did because I just be like,
Hmm.
I don't want to go through that, or certain things I just can't deal with. So I just be looking at other
Yeah,
people and I be like, let
that's
me
true.
avoid that at all costs. So if you just see something that you can't tolerate, just learn from those people's mistakes. Don't think that your outcome is gonna turn out any different or better because you're you. If you see something, some bad behavior or something that you don't just learn from other people's mistakes. And if they tell you don't
Hmm.
try this at home, really don't try it at home. Because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get the same result or worse.
Yeah, that's true. I was told in my after 18 to pray for wisdom, and I did, and I'm glad I did.
Hmm.
Um, that helped me a lot. Instead
Yes.
of gold or money or lifestyle, pray for wisdom so you make the right decisions. If you're a praying person, we're talking about other people. If you're praying or whatever, you be invite the universe in. I don't know, but
The
wisdom.
universe, come save
Yeah,
me.
I'm a praying person, so
Me too, girl.
I
I'll be
believe
praying.
in wisdom because I mean sometimes our parents don't know everything; they only know what people taught them, and so I try to incorporate that. And I was told to read the book of Proverbs and Psalms every day. The Proverbs has wisdom, and Psalms exhibits praise and lessons and different things like that. So that's what I was told. Have I done that? The reading part, I did for a while. I just need to be consistent. But yeah, it'll bring you peace.
Right.
Yeah, we take on a lot, and I got a good one, Yuva. The credit cards.
Girl,
Y'all,
yes.
I'm in trouble now because of these. I'm just like, what happened? How did I get here? For me, it's
Mm,
traveling, so I'm trying to hold off. But I'm in a credit card, get out of that, and I've done this before. So they tell you don't get a credit card. If you do get a credit card, get one where you know you can pay back. That's contingent, like 500 or something like that. Don't get a credit card. That's a lot. And to me, my expenses went up when I got a house. So, things break down, whatever. So, yeah, credit cards are not your friend, um,
yes.
like that. Or if you do, you got to get one, not
Right.
10,000.
Yeah, that's what my dad said. But I just think I would tell my 18-year-old self again, listen to your parents, but make them explain to you because he was just like,
Why?
don't get no credit card. You don't need no credit cards. If you can't buy it in cash, you don't need it. And I'm like, Dad, they're offering me free money.
Like,
He
what are you talking about?
just
Like,
be
oh,
like,
I didn't know.
my
No,
dad was the type of person be like, okay, I done told you. Now you ain't listening. That's gonna be on you.
I
And
hid
so,
them. I don't even know where they're at. I'm just paying the stuff off, y'all. I had to hide it, and then as soon as I found one, I'm like, dang, I just got it, and I will say, I used it for things that were necessary, at least for me, but not really. One for my health, and it's something I could pay off. I could pay that down.
right,
But I'm gonna focus on getting the one that's lowest, just paid off and paid down. And I've
yeah,
already paid off two, but you get them for different reasons. They're like, oh, this
right.
Lowe's, okay. Well, I need this. Yeah, you need a credit. Like even if you want to pay with cash, y'all.
Hmm.
Even when I wanted to pay with cash, they made me get a credit card to pay the rest. They want you to finance it. That's messed up. And I had the money to pay off all of it. And they were
Right.
like, wait, you're gonna give the whole amount? They weren't used to it. They made me finance a part of it. And I wish they just would have I could. They said, "Well, you can't just pay it all." I'm like, "Why not?" And I'm like, "Wow, this is why people that's rich hire people to come in and just do the job because these companies, I think it was the floor people, I forgot the name of that company. They were like, "No, you have to finance the rest." I'm like, "Why?" Probably lying. Like, why can't I just pay this now? They weren't used to it.
Right. That's crazy. I'm just like, yeah. I would tell my and I tell my sons. So my me talking to my sons, and that's the good thing about having kids. Hopefully they listen, and I'll tell
Mhm.
them why I didn't listen to my parents, and hopefully it'll click. So me talking to them is like talking to my 18-year-old self. Get one major credit card. Make sure you're getting a good interest rate, and make sure it's something that you pay back. You can pay back fully at the end of the month. You do
Mhm.
want to build your credit, but you don't want to get all these individual credit cards.
Yeah,
You don't need two, three, four, five. Okay, just
like me.
plan accordingly, pay them all. Um, avoid student loans. That's what I would definitely tell
Yeah, got those.
everybody. I'll be like,
Yeah.
look, avoid student loan. If you got to work 10 jobs, if you want to finish school, I'm
Mhm.
all for higher education, but avoid those student loans. It's not worth it. And
It's better just to pay as you go.
yeah, just pay
My
as you
my
go.
friends are not in that. I'm the only one. I mean, I
Pay as
went
you
straight
go.
through, but it's
People be
it's
like,
not worth it.
kick your grown sons out. No, no, ma'am, no, sir. They can stay as long as they respecting the house
Mhm.
rules and pay off your debt, pay for your school. While you still while you don't have all these overhead expenses.
Mhm.
And I just think that that's just a good thing to do. Just pull your
Are they
resources.
taking in what you're saying? Are they trying to do
They
that?
are. I don't know, sometimes the oldest he probably wanted space and he thinking about moving out. But I'm like, before you absorb all of those expenses, but they are taking my advice about not getting student loan. I'm like, it might take
Okay.
you a longer time to finish school, but you'll finish and you'll finish debt free. So whatever you
Mhm.
earn after that, you're earning is your money. You don't have to worry about
Right.
paying the government or student loans off. So they're
Mhm.
listening. So that's why I say don't rush to be on somebody else's timetable. That's my other thing. Don't rush to be on it.
Mhm.
If it takes you to 5, 6, 7 year plan to finish, at least you're finished, but you'll finish
Mhm.
debt free, and you all your
Yeah,
money that you earning will be
that's true.
free. So
Most of my money's gone to debt or just trying to pay it back. And then on top of it, you'll get as you get closer to it, they'll sell your student loan and then they add more interest to it.
yeah,
The
so
new one would tack on more interest. And I was like, oh no, this got to go.
yeah,
So this point in my life, that's what I'm be doing, paying off stuff or finding ways to get it off.
I would tell myself to get only jobs that invest in your 401k that contribute, and
Hmm.
make sure you start young. Don't wait till you 30, 40 to start doing your 401k. And don't borrow. So I think I started in my 20s, but I started borrowing money out of it, taking
Oh,
money
okay.
out, don't do that. Don't take your money. Pretend like that money doesn't exist. It's tax free. I mean, the pre-tax dollars. Let them stay in that account. And if you leave one job, transfer it over. Don't withdraw. You narrow it
Yeah.
down because you will have so much more if you don't withdraw. Or if you do
Hmm.
have to withdraw, put it into another IRA or something else. So making better financial decisions at an earlier
Yeah,
age.
that's
Don't
true.
wait and be like, oh, well, I'm a party now. And no, because you can party later. You still be young, but
That's true.
get your finances in order at a young age and read for yourself. If you don't have a mentor or somebody to teach you, y'all have the internet. I know I sound like mom. Y'all have we did not have that growing up. We just started getting the internet in like the early 90s. Um, but we did not have all these resources and sometimes it's information overload, but take
Hmm.
what you will from it, do some comparison shopping. Y'all have an amazing
Yeah,
tool.
different ways you can make money. You just got to get on a plan to make that happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
um and just make better decisions. Like, how does that look? Like, everybody, like you were saying, to buy a house, buying a house is a wonderful thing, but don't buy it in a market that's not good. Get
Yeah.
that ready, because you're not going to get the best interest rate. You're not going to get the best house for your buck. You're just going to be settling for something that. So you might want to wait or talk to an agent or do some homework before you make that investment.
Hmm.
It's
I
necessary.
definitely didn't buy it in this market. I probably wouldn't have.
No, no, this market is terrible, and I
Four
don't
years ago it
know.
was okay, but now it's
Yeah,
terrible.
it's absolutely terrible. And so make sure it's a buyer's market, or at least somewhere that you're getting a reasonable deal. And don't go
Mhm.
rush to buy. Do the research. Even if you're buying a house out of state, do the research. because
Mhm.
people are like, I'm going to Texas to buy a house, and in some parts of Texas, their taxes are so high and absorbent, it's
Mhm.
ridiculous. I was like, woo! I thought Maryland and D.C. would be on the list. It's this list of the highest taxes in the world, in the
Mhm.
country. We're not on the list, surprisingly. Texas is on the list. So if you're making $100,000 in Texas, you're gonna gross like after taxes, like they said 67 between 67 and 70.
What?
Yeah, they tax the hell
The
out of
Republicans taking y'all money.
you. No, why you gonna get a bigger house for a lesser price?
That's
Look,
surprising.
research some taxes, girl.
We'll have to table this. That I think that should be another
That's
conversation
gonna be
because
another time.
I'm curious about that. With that being a Republican state, I would think they'd be less involved government wise, or maybe that's what it is. They're more state government
Hey,
than federal
Miami,
government.
Miami's on the list too. Their
They're
taxes,
Republican too.
um, and I think
I'm
it's not.
independent. I don't have nothing against Republicans. I'm just saying it's weird to me that they're paying so much in taxes, but not really because But anyway, we're getting off subject, so
And so do some real whatever you do, whatever purchases you make, do some real intense. Don't go
yeah.
out and don't spend your money on frivolous things. I know you want the Gucci shoes and you want to look good. They got a new girl. They got Fendi and Versace. Then came up with a collaboration. That thing is called Fendachi. I said, "Oh my god!" I was like,
That
"I
sound
said,
like
but watch everybody run out and go get them. Yeah, I got the Fendachi shoe. So if that's your
I don't
thing,
know about that
you
one.
got time for it. But I mean, these Italian people families are already rich. They do not need your Negro pennies. Sorry, they don't need them. But if you want to go and spend them on that, hey, more power to you. But I'm just trying to tell you, take that same $800 that you're gonna spend on
Okay.
that pair of shoes and
Okay.
invest it in the stock market. That's what I would tell
You
you.
don't need your nickel penny.
I wouldn't. I don't spend my money. I spend other people.
Oh
I don't spend
my
my
gosh.
money. Yeah, it's really a thing, girl. Google it, Fendachi. So they just sat around at a rich lunch and just said, "Hey, let's collab and
I'm
make
not into
they
labels.
gonna
Get
buy
the experiences.
and they will. They be like, look at my bag, girl. Look at my bag.
Another thing is that people tell you to wait to do things. I say I've been told by older people do it while you're young because you don't know what your health situation is going to be as you get older. So there's something you save up for. Don't be like me. Save up for it. I say go now because we work with patients that thought they would have time and they didn't. And then
Yeah,
the people that did do those things earlier in life, I mean, not you don't have to be a world traveler, but if there's something you want to do, I say do it while you're young, unattached, don't have children, a husband, a wife, kids.
yeah,
Easier to
yeah.
explore those things.
Right,
Just go ahead and get that out your system.
right. And you don't have the bills, so plan
Yeah, no
accordingly.
bills. Yeah, I see more millennials traveling. Younger millennials, they're doing that now. So
Mhm.
have experience, but make sure you pay your bills first. You
Yeah,
know.
get bills first, saving next, and then if you want to save for a trip, yes, do that.
Yeah,
Save,
save for the trip.
save for the trip. Don't go willy
Save for the
nilly
trip.
and just say, "Hey, I'm going," then be like, "Oh Lord," when they come back.
Or find a trip you can pay on monthly.
Yeah,
Like most cruises, you can pay on monthly. You don't have to pay everything at once. That's
that's
okay. Like you gotta wait for your trip to come up. You then at least
exactly,
it's done. You know.
exactly, absolutely. Ooh, oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking. I'm on the window. I'm like, what's all this noise? Can you hear that? It's like the trash truck, but they already came earlier, so I'm just like, what's going on? Um,
No, we can't hear
that's
anything.
pretty much. Let me see. Oh, yeah, and that's what I was saying. Don't let the world tell you how to live. Um,
Hmm.
don't try to keep up with the Joneses, the Combses,
Yeah. Hmm.
Kardashians. You do what works for you, and I know social media will try to. Everybody will seem larger than life, but trust me, do what works
Hmm.
for you and your pockets and your family and your lifestyle.
Hmm.
You have to, it's tempting to go out there and do and get this, do
Hmm.
that, but do what works for you. Do what works for you, and don't follow the crowd. Be your own person. And I know all this stuff sounds cliche, but this is what I would really tell my 18-year-old self. Really.
You know what? Too, we forgot about the most important. We started off with it. Communication. When it comes to your relationships, people you meet, all your relationships. Being thoughtful about the people you put in your life. Don't just put any old body around you. Choose your friends wisely.
Mm-hmm.
In your circle. Make sure they're safe. Make sure they're really out for you.
Right.
Like learning how to. I think people we choose when we're that young, we just choose people who are fun. We need to be thoughtful about the people we have around us because sometimes that fun can end you up in jail or in a bad situation. Some of y'all here, people who I was looking at this show, was like one of those medium shows, and the young lady was saying that her friend passed away because the young man was smoking weed. It was laced with fentanyl,
Oh
and
my
he
God.
took that hit and died. So like
Mm-hmm.
really be like thoughtful about the decisions you guys are making. I know I'm not saying not to have fun, but really you just never know.
Right.
Being
Right.
thoughtful about your friends is so important because they're so like important at that age, and make sure they're good
Mm-hmm.
people.
Yeah.
Make sure you get the same values that you got.
Hey, Aunt Betty. Aunt Betty on here. I see my what's up? Shout out. Um, but definitely, yeah, that's true. That's on my list
Mhm.
too. Be careful about the company you keep.
You can, yep.
Be careful
That's
about them because
100.
if you don't surround yourself with positive people that's uplifting you, that's like
Mm-hmm.
minded with you, they're gonna drag you into an
Gonna
abyss
drag
where
you
you don't
down.
want to be. And you be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna turn up now because I'm young. But you really need to think about your future. If you got some hot
Mm-hmm.
head doing some hot stuff, or what we call Bammers, you got some, they just being hot, doing stuff that's just reckless. Do you need to be around it? Are they really your friends? Because
Yeah.
if somebody cared about you, cared about your well being, they wouldn't ask you to do things and put you in a predicament. And so,
Right.
what they say, misery loves company, indeed. So
Yeah.
that's what we trying to do, y'all. We y'all big sisters, mentors, um, for our 30-year-olds. We your little sisters, and we in the struggle for the people in their 40s. So we just trying to be mentors. I wish I had a mentor. I really do. I had older sisters and older cousins, but I don't think they was trying to figure things out themselves. So I'm not gonna put that on them. Hey
Mm-hmm.
Karen, that's my cousin Karen Jordan. What's up,
Hi, Carol.
girl? I just say, everybody has to go through their own. But if I wish I had a mentor, somebody that just really can grab a hold of you and like, look, this is not the way. No, sis, you're doing it wrong. You're not even,
You
that
just letting you toast, huh?
that's what I try. And I'll be trying to school my niece and my little cousins, and I don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
the preachy judgmental. But it's not that it's that I'm trying to let you
Are you
know.
trying to
Don't
be
get it
judgmental? You're just trying to say, hey, I wish I had somebody
I
tell me
wish I had.
this.
I wish I had me. I
Yeah.
wish I had me.
You wish you
For
had
real.
you.
Somebody that's cool, but also ain't taking no foolishness, and it's gonna tell me like it is. Be like, whoa,
Capricorn mother, my
you
butt.
doing too much. Like, don't do this. So I wish I wish I had me
Mm-hmm.
as an aunt. I wish I had me as a big sister, little sister.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish I did because I'm just. But I have now. I have my good friends,
Yeah.
Robin.
We
I got
keep
my
on the straight and
husband.
narrow. She
I
keep
got
me
I
on the
got
straight and
people
narrow.
that chin check me. I got my little brother that we always go at it, but that's my BFF. I got good people in my circle now, but you know, um, it's a learning process. Life
Yeah.
is a learning process. It is a whole journey. That's right, Karen. She said we want them to learn from our example instead of them learning from their own experience. Right.
Yeah.
We just said that it's
Wisdom. That
right.
was wisdom right there.
Learning from your mistakes is one thing, but learning from somebody else's mistakes, that puts you
That's
on
being smart.
what that is giving you tips and wisdom. And I'm like, for real, learning who can tell you what to do, who you getting advice from, and what you or you if you can tell me what not to do.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, well, I don't know how to do, but this is what you don't do if you want this to work. And I'm
Right.
like, okay, and it has to make sense because that's what they was like. Like I said, my parents, thinking about it now, my parents was really giving me wisdom but it's how they explain it. It didn't make sense at the time because they didn't break it down. They just
How do
like
they explain it?
dad was the my dad. He just be like, "Hey, don't do this," or he'll throw a book at you. He throw Rich Dad
A
Poor Dad
book.
book at. Yeah,
Oh.
he'd be like, "Here, read this." And I'm like, "Dad, I'm dressed up, getting ready to go to the club. I'm reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. Really?" I'm like, "What? What? What are you
But he
talking
didn't
about?"
tell you why.
He tell me. He just be like,
Yeah,
"Okay."
that's the worst. If you're going to give your kids advice, to the parents that have young kids like Eva does, young adults, get to tell them why. And I know it's like I shouldn't have to. They should just listen to me because of who I am. But no, we're the age where we're like really trying to figure out what is the purpose. That's the age they're at. So you gotta give them purpose with it because of the age they're at, not because it's about them just doing what you want to do.
And
They're trying to find their own way.
let them talk back, not talk back in a
Mm-hmm.
disrespectful way, but let them give you
Ask
feedback, ask
questions.
them
Yeah.
questions. Because you're not in that generation, so things may be a little different. So hear what they have to say, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that they will be more receptive listening to you. And
Mm-hmm.
and, and I think that was a lot of things. They'd be like, children don't talk, seen, not heard, and that's the wrong way. I mean, I'm just saying that's the way that they knew because they old school, and that's the way their
Yeah.
parents taught them. But when you have young adults, you have to treat them as such. They're just
Right.
starting out. They want to experience their own things, and you're gonna tell them why this ain't working, and
Right.
not just tell them don't do it. You're just
Right.
forbidding them to do something, and you're not giving them any explanation or any reason or hey, well, this is what's happening to them, and I'm not saying that's gonna happen to you, but and then don't do the "I told you so" when stuff blows up because they know. They know they're gonna know that they're gonna remember hearing mama or whoever their mentor in the back of their head. Now she told me not to do this, and I didn't did it, and this is what happened. And you don't gloat. You just be like, "Want to talk about it? You want to talk? I mean, I'm here. I'm here for you,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not here to judge you or criticize you or make you feel bad. I'm just here to let you know." While we talk about these things, this is why we try to prevent these things. So, what we gonna do differently? And
That's true.
that's what I wish I would have. That's what I wish. But I do appreciate my parents. But they were just like really old fashioned, and because they was raised by their grandparents primarily.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother was just like, keep your legs closed until you graduate high school. Like, I tried, Mama. I
They're giving
tried.
statements.
I was like,
I
well,
did wrong.
why? What's high school? Is that the magic age? Like, what happens after that? So, they didn't really go into full details, and not that I'm not saying I would have 100% guaranteed listen if they would have, but I'm just saying it would have made for me how my learning style is. It has to make sense to me. You can't just shout stuff at me and or just tell me not to do something because I'm just like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And yeah, so that's what I wish. Definitely,
That's funny.
I wish that. So I hope that I'm the type of mother that, and they do, and it shows because my sons feel comfortable talking with me about anything.
You're a great mom.
I
I'm
just be
I'm
like,
I'll be
some
shocked
stuff
by
I'll
the
be
stuff
like,
they ask her. I'm like,
some
what?
stuff I'll be like, oh, in my
Huh?
inside, on my insides, I'll be like, oh my god. On the outside, I be faking like I'm real cool. Oh yeah, what's up? Oh yeah. On the inside, I'm like,
My baby.
but I'm blessed that they feel comfortable talking to me about stuff, and I just be like, okay, so I'm gonna do with
You're the
that.
cool mom.
Yeah, but not. I'm trying to be too cool where I'm just like,
Nonsense though too. It's a good balance. They know they can't play with you, but then they can be open with you. There's
right.
nothing they can disclose to you. You be like, huh? Yeah, you're really good. You should teach a class. That should be another 4T episode. But how to parent young men.
Yes, yes, young men and young women and people
Have
just
a
don't.
panel of women on here that have,
Mhm.
because
People
I'm
don't want
sure
to.
there's
They want to.
some women with some young men that they want to, But anyway, I'm
Right.
just getting off of it. But yeah, that
That
would be
is
a good
definitely a never good topic, and I'll gladly teach what I know.
yeah.
Everybody has different parenting style, and they know their children better than anybody. So
hmm
what works for one kid, like my sons, our sons don't give me any problems.
hmm
They're not out here in these streets. They're not trying to, they because we didn't raise them like that.
Right.
Karen said that's right. Lead by example. We
hmm
weren't out here glorifying, material things. So
Yeah.
So they're not. So
Mm-hmm.
you definitely have to lead by example.
It's true.
Definitely,
They're
because
watching you from the
right,
time they can talk. They're watching you.
exactly. Because so if they see dad out here running the streets, then that's what they gonna
That's what
want
they're
to do.
gonna do.
Hmm.
That's
Or
true.
they see mama introducing them to every man or every bringing all these different men. They're not gonna have respect for women. They're gonna be
Yeah.
like, oh, she coming in here with this and the other dude, and they're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna have respect. So they're gonna go out here and do the same thing. Do you want your
Yeah.
son being that man? No, no.
Yeah.
You don't want them to get carried, and you don't want them to be carrying nobody. So how do you balance that out? Lead by example.
Exactly.
Lead by example, and
Exactly.
tell them, hey, like you can't treat all women like hoes, and you can't treat all hoes like housewives. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. You know, not to come in with a judgmental attitude, but just be smart and make good
Mm-hmm.
decisions.
Yeah.
Like I said,
That's true.
they tell you in life not to have regrets, and that's for the most part that's true because hopefully everything that you've done, you've thought about at least,
Yep.
especially at this age,
That's true.
thought about, and it might not be the best decisions, and you could just be like, I won't do it again. I won't do it again. I
Listen
won't
to your elders.
right. I won't make that mistake again. So no, we're not gonna be perfect, and that's what I tell my sons too. We're not gonna be perfect. We're not always gonna make the right decision. Sometimes we can think it's the right decision, and it blows way up
Mm-hmm.
in your face.
Yep.
But learn from that, and better yet, somebody else learns from that, and then you won't repeat it, and then you good.
Mm-hmm. That's
So,
true. That's true.
so yes,
So,
I would
moral of the
say
story is what we do. If we had a time machine to go back, everything differently, because that's why we had this podcast, because you gain knowledge over time. But
mhm,
my God, and we had just listened to the people that were in our space at that time. My mom was
yes,
40 around the time I was 18. So
yeah,
like if I had listened to her, my God, but two, it depends on where your parents are at. Some people are survival mode. They become single parents, like life changes.
mm,
Um, but like you was saying, you have no excuse now because everything, all information's at your fingertips. If you want to learn about housing, you want to learn how to make extra money, you can go anywhere and learn tips and start it right away. We didn't have that. So
right,
if you have access to it, if you are, 18, of any of you guys have 18-year-olds and, young adults, talk to them. I try to do that. Any opportunity, Eva does too. We talk to any young women, and also too, we're talking about solicited, not unsolicited advice. Because your young people will shut down on you. If they ask you, just let them know,
and
and
Robin's a
say, hey, you
therapist,
mind if I give you some knowledge? And if they're smart enough, they say, yeah, I want to know.
right?
Also be open to it if you're a young person.
Yes.
Be
Yeah,
open to
Robin
it.
is a therapist, y'all. She's a licensed clinical therapist. So she what she's talking
Talk to
about.
a lot of young people, and they think you doing something grand. I'm like, no, I'm telling you the stuff that I messed up on, so you can do something differently.
Mm-hmm.
So,
They
yeah,
relate.
yeah,
Definitely relate.
exactly. I can relate. Definitely. You still with us, Yuva? I think we got a little freeze going on for a minute. Let me see. Well, I guess I'm gonna wrap this thing on. Oh man. Um, yeah, I'm waiting for you to come back in here, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. And you know, please leave comments, hit the subscribe button so you'll know when we're coming back on. Let us know how we're doing. Um, just put your just let us know what's going on. We're actually let us know what topics you want us to talk about. So we'll do that. And thanks for joining 4T. See you later.